Okay.
Yes.
Hello, imperative people.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit start recording my audio.
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
Oh, not yet?
Not
No,
yet.
yet.
it'll
Okay.
be a half hour before.
You
Oh
know
my
what, Paul?
Oh my goodness! All right, just remind me right before because I don't want to
Yes.
forget and be the
No.
fool that doesn't do that. So
We do a whole thing with
There's a
that.
whole thing
so,
about it.
Yes, you're not gonna miss it.
So I
It
was
is a whole
recording with the Geek Nation podcast one day, and they were on my show, and we were doing this throwback episode, and we were talking. It was great, and we were 15 minutes in. I was stumbling. Maybe it was a God thing because I was stumbling and I was messing up, and I was like, "All right, whatever. I'm just gonna have to do some fancy editing." And so 15 minutes in, I look and I'm like, "Wait a second, I didn't record any of this."
That's good. It was only 15 minutes.
So we restarted. We restarted completely, and take two, I got it. Got it.
Oh,
perfect.
nice.
But like I said, maybe it was a God thing, and it worked out. So
Maybe I should open up Twitch and answer Andy.
Oh, these are so big. No wonder. Okay, get rid of these. I don't need these. Delete those. Also,
Andy's over on Facebook. Speaking of guest hosting, y'all did amazing today.
Oh, well, thank you.
How'd you know she's talking about us? She might be talking about Caleb.
She said y'all, so that's usually plural, not
All right,
always.
fine.
So
Fair enough.
And she said today, so I assumed and I stepped forward and took the credit. Sorry.
You were correct in your assumption.
In his defense, we did release an episode today as well. So
Well, there you go. But I'm glad. Thank you so much, Celeste. It was fun getting to do that. I'm glad we kept it brief, much briefer than past instances.
I'm glad it passed security because some of that I was like, I don't know, but all right, sure. I don't know if this is like, I wouldn't say it's blasphemy, but I don't know how edifying it is. You know what I mean? If it was interest.
By the way, hello, Andy and Geek Devotions and Ashley. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We are still getting set up. I'm trying to figure out how to free up space on my C drive because apparently I'm
because that's
procrastinating.
What happens when you don't use a DAR anymore, right?
Yeah, actually, that's a very fair estimation, Paul. Fine, call me out as you should.
I'm just seeing if I can understand the process.
That is a good understanding of the process.
Yoshi.
Yes.
I think his PC is about to explode.
Hey, Yoshi. No, it's not going to explode. I just have to go through and be more deliberate in what I'm getting rid of. But I think
sounds
for
like
now,
a delicious smoothie and explodey.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully it doesn't describe the after effects.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You drink it, you go boom.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we got that, Paul.
All right.
I am just, so here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm just wanting to try to change this so that it saves everything to my D drive, just so I don't have to worry about it. So give me a sec.
Okay. So I got two things real quick, and both of them might offend Paul completely. So
I'm hoping.
No, number one.
Right.
I'm going to start with the fun one here. Number one. Has anyone ever told you look like a young Val Kilmer?
No. Oh, stop it. You're trying to get on my good side now.
Val Kilmer. Number two, your mic is really interesting. It
has a pin. There's actually 2 pins on it, and it's a little fuzzy.
I think he means how it's mounted to you, Paul.
Oh, you can tell how it's mounted?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Isn't it? Nice.
Interesting.
I was inspired. I walked by the bathroom one day and I was inspired. Actually, it reminded me of getting a swirly once, and I'm like, you know what? I could do something with that. No, I'm joking.
Oh, my word. All
Wait,
right, well, I can't
Val Kilmer,
like
the Val Kilmer thing for sure.
The current one, the bloated one, or are we talking Doc Holliday? Where
he's
like
not as bloated anymore, Paul.
No, but I'm trying to get a reference.
I'm talking. What is it? What Batman?
Iceman?
No. Well,
Batman.
I'm talking like
Batman.
Yeah.
Batman Val Kilmer. There you go.
I'll take it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you'll take that, Paul.
See, now you can't. You're going to be able to unsee it. So you're welcome. That was for all your listeners out there.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your patience while I try to do this. I think I'm just going to have to go go for this. And just go for go for broke, and hope we're okay.
And doesn't break.
Yeah, and hope it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Hope it doesn't break.
Excuse me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go through the checklist real quick.
Oh, we're already there.
Yeah, no, amazing, Paul,
Wow.
isn't it? Okay. So let's see.
Audio check level, is it at minus 12 data voices? Whatever.
That's what I'm
dB.
trying to figure out. So let's start with you, Paul. Go ahead. I can already tell you need to raise yourself a little bit.
All right. I
Actually,
can only.
go ahead and leave there. I may just need to raise it on my end.
Yeah,
so.
why don't you try raising it on your end? Because I'm going to get louder, but
Okay.
I'm going to keep it right around here.
You can stop.
right.
Caleb, tell me something about your day.
My day was pretty good. I got.
Can
a
you
Nintendo
raise
Switch.
your gain a little bit, please?
Okay.
And also sound a little more excited, like you're happy to be here. I'm
Woo!
joking. I'm joking.
My kids don't wear me out. Woo!
All right. That's lie number one.
I hope that was good. Is that good?
I think so.
Okay.
Lesty, can you talk some, please?
Yes. So, talking. I am currently doing some Christmas shopping and planning and plotting and putting things on my Amazon list so that
So-
I can find them later.
I'm going to have... Lesty, can you turn yourself up some or no? Or you're not able
Yes,
to?
I can do
Okay.
that.
Hey, D. Tungsten, by the way. Anyone else I missed? Oh, Neko, hello. Stacy, hello. Paul. Oh, Paul's here. Paul, hello. PaulJPowers.com.
How does that
Yo.
sound, Francisco? Does that better?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Then I think that's good, guys. That's fantastic. Caleb or Celeste, do either of you have a time you have to be done by
Nope.
tonight?
Um,
Like a hard stop.
I'm fine for whenever, but my wife might kill you if you go over, go past like 11 or something crazy.
11. In your mountain time?
I'm central.
Central. But
So
why
it's
is it
8.
Mountain Nerds podcast?
It's a whole thing.
Are there mountains in the central time zone that
I'm in
I'm
Tennessee.
unaware of?
Yes.
Arkansas.
Oh, bro, I'm in Tennessee.
Well, I don't know.
That sounds East Coast.
I think
You ever been to
Rockies.
Tennessee?
No, I've been to Tennessee once, and there weren't
We
mountains.
got mountains.
I was
We
in
got actually
Nashville. so-
large. We actually got large hills. But
Oh,
if,
okay.
if I call us the large hill nerds, it doesn't make any sense. So
No.
That makes sense.
That's
that goes all over
fair.
our branding that I work so hard on.
Fair. Okay. So that's past 9 here. Yeah, I don't imagine us going that
Okay.
late. Do you both have your likes and dislikes down to 1 like and a classic maker and 1 dislike and a tragic maker? I realize that's probably news to you, but if not, go ahead and call again.
I can make that happen.
Thank you.
I was hoping that was happening because one of my sides is longer than the other.
I wonder which one, Paul.
It's not like the other.
Oh no, I need a pen. Pen, where are you?
It's mightier than the sword.
Okay, fine. We'll use a highlighter then.
Oh, great. I have 3 pens in my pocket. You want one? Here's one.
Yes.
You can have
No,
this.
I'm
Here,
gonna have a
catch.
green. Oh, I was gonna say a green highlighter, but that's not really showing.
No.
Okay. So you got the mind mode, Paul. Thank you. Lesty, or I'm gonna try to call you Celeste here. Celeste. I know you go by
Either way.
either, but I just for
It says
continuity,
Celeste right on her name.
I'll go for. I thank
be
you,
like-
Paul.
Official here.
Celeste and Caleb and Paul. Do either of you have spiritual speculations to
I do.
discuss?
It's a minor one. It's a
Not
minor
with
one.
Lilo and Stitch, but I can spiritually speculate off of Indiana Jones.
Oh.
Oh, okay. We might go with
Yeah.
that. That wouldn't be
Let-
too bad.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's see. I need my chapstick.
Chapstick.
Okay, Richard Gere and your moths. So close.
Do you have Invisiwater?
I have Invisiwater right here, only available at Retro Rewind Pod. For your own Invisiwater, just send 4 easy payments of $99.95, and you can have your own
It's on the way,
Invisiwater.
dude. On the way.
Sweet,
PayPal.
yes. For first customer. Got that. Why again? I have spiritual speculation twice. I don't know why. We got
'Cause
the
One is a question mark, and another is
yes. Caleb did the oath. All right, when we already started the broadcast, so
No,
awesome.
we need to start recording. You skipped.
I
that
know,
one.
but the broadcast is started. Is what
Oh.
I'm saying.
Sorry.
That's okay. Jeez, Paul, man. Oh, but I see what you're saying. I did skip that one because we do that. That's actually in a different order now. So
Yeah, you need to update this template.
I'll get it right on that, Paul. Get it right on that.
Sorry, we're talking about things that no one else can see.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let me get this ready so I can go to the trailer quickly. And I need to update after the final rain. We have a response or rebuttal to whatever rain we come up with, unless it's a draw, in which case I guess we don't really have one. But I'll just put it in post. But let me put that in my notes so I don't forget to play one of those. And it will be a semi-Edna mode pause. Just deal with it. It's not a
I was
real
about to
true
say, do you have
Edna
your
mode.
beans ready?
Oh my gosh.
Edna mode.
Are you familiar with what Edna mode is at all, Caleb?
I know of the character from The
Okay.
Incredibles.
Paul, while I'm looking this up, will you explain it, please?
No, darling.
All right. Edna mode is what do you call it when a word evolves through time? Evolved from edit mode. It just means a time where he can know. We say edit mode or Edna mode, so as Francisco's listening, he doesn't drift off and he can hear. Okay, here's where I need to edit. Make an edit mark
Exactly.
here.
Exactly.
So the more Edna modes we have, the more chances it could slip through and make it to the final destination, and there'd be a little glitch in there. That'd be amazing. Those are always fun to
amazing.
catch. A little
Oh my
Easter
gosh.
egg, little
Paul
little-
loves it when I leave outtakes, intakes. That's
all
intakes.
yeah. Then it becomes an a la mode.
Oh
It's a little sweet
Ooh.
dessert.
gosh.
No,
I just
my
want vanilla ice cream, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better than vanilla ice.
Baby.
Oh.
I was gonna go for how does this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle go
Ninja.
ninja, go ninja, go. Let's see. So I think we are all we're gonna do auditions for who has the best Stitch voice, Celeste or Caleb. Do either of you have good? Oh, do you need to take a second, Caleb?
Yeah,
You're-
give me just
Yeah, that's fine. Celeste?
Ohana means family.
Ooh. Wait, that sounded
my
more like
best.
Lilo for a second.
Yeah.
It did. It
Okay.
did.
We could do that.
No, we're going. Well, actually, yeah. Let me hear that again.
Ohana means family. But I'm purposely imitating Stitch, so I could probably try to make it sound more like Lilo.
Let's hear more like Lilo.
Ohana means family.
No, the other one worked better.
Why does my Stitch voice work better for Lilo?
I don't know,
All right,
but
sorry
it
about that.
does.
I apologize.
No,
No
worries. We're still behind the scenes. We haven't
Yes.
started yet. In fact, this is taking so long. I might have to
You
go
want
for.
you want a Stitch
break.
voice?
Yes, let's hear your Stitch voice of saying Ohana means family.
Ohana means family.
And
There you
there it
go.
is.
I think we'll go with that. So I need you. I'll put in this private chat here to say it's pretty much just the line from the thing, but okay. So just say that, Caleb, when I point to you. I'm going to do like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 point, and then you say that.
Okay.
Do you see
Do
it
I need
in
to
the
record
private chat?
anything or on this part, or? Is it
I
gonna
mean,
be-
it'll just whenever we start, that'll be our cold open. Is you saying that? Okay,
Okay.
and then I'll
Does
go.
that still sound good? By the way, I bumped things.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I haven't.
Joe.
It
Just wanna make sure.
sounds the same to me.
Okay.
Hey,
And then-
Francisco,
Yeah.
there was a prediction of 17 Edna modes.
What the? Who did that? Who did that?
I'm
Who?
not saying.
I want to know.
Well, who do you think? Let's start listing off names and let's hear the retaliation.
Who? That's horrible. I can't.
That's a
I saw
good goal
one-
to shoot for. Let's shoot for 17.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Let's see. She asked about how
That's
many.
better.
And
Sorry,
then-
I'm so sorry. My computer fans were
Nico!
really loud. and I put it on a stand, and it sounds much better. So
Oh, I don't hear the fan, so cool beans. 17 echo. 17. No, I am going to predict 2 end modes. That's the over under. So if we have over 2, I'll do a Bean Boozled, but 2 or under, no Bean Boozled for Francisco.
I predict
4.
5.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what you guys predict. I'll get 1 if it's more than 2, but
I'm just going for.
It's the
oh,
fun of
I guess
guessing.
I could. If any of you nail the exact number, then I could. Then that
There's
could
enough
earn
here
me
for
another
one of us to nail the exact number.
Yeah, that's not really fair to me. We'll just go for 1. All right, 2. That'll
get-
be the max.
If you get 4, which was my guess,
Uh-huh.
then I say you should play Splatoon tomorrow
Ooh.
for the red
Oh,
card.
I actually won't be able to. So,
Oh,
quick
no.
announcement. I'm going to do Starry Cage Adventures, but it's probably going to end up being just Lion King to try to beat Lion King because I haven't been able to meet with my community group for a long time.
This is
And-
your community group.
My in-person community group, Paul.
Oh, now I'm not a person. I
church.
see how it is.
Paul, we all knew you were a robot.
You fly up here tomorrow, Paul. I will cancel my plans with this other group, okay?
No.
Anyway, but the only time they could meet that could somewhat align with my schedule was tomorrow morning. So we'll do a little bit of Shy Cage Adventures, but then and the rest of my day is packed. Maybe,
Here's my
we beat
community.
Earthbound. Maybe
Here-
tomorrow night I could. Oh no, tomorrow night is a special event. You stop it with the Team One, Paul.
Yeah, that's
Tomorrow
my
night-
community
Oh,
right there.
Oh. Okay. It's okay, Francisco. It's
All right.
okay.
It's
You
okay.
can handle this.
Hey, why don't we do a podcast?
Ooh, good. Get all the jeers out now, Paul. That's great.
Oh,
Okay.
we're just warming up.
All right. Well, Paul, why don't you warm us up with a prayer, please?
All right, Father God, thank you so much for creating this day. I hope we don't ruin it. And I hope this podcast goes great, and may you be somehow glorified through it, especially me. Sorry. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Paul. All right. So give me a thumbs up, guys, if you are ready to rock and roll and hit
All right.
record on your.
Let me open up Audacity. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, you need a visual thumbs up.
Yes, I need a visual thumbs up. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
So on mark, hit record.
Who's Mark? Oh, you're Mark.
Gosh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
I didn't say, oh, hi, Mark. Aren't
Goody
you proud of me?
for
No,
the
no. It's meant to
tuna.
be
You
Ohana, not
just
Highmark.
said it.
Oh, Highmark.
Oh, yeah. Ohana, Mark.
Oh my gosh, guys. Yes, Matthew Mark D. Tungsten. Very clever. Okay. So now that everyone's recording, your things are going.
Yeah.
Soundwave,
Yes.
you're only getting your audio. You're not like
Check one.
not seeing any sounds
Alright,
from
yeah.
me as I talk.
Yes.
It's just
Oh.
your audio.
No, the board automatically records everything, but I can separate my audio out.
Okay. All right.
Wait.
Then that's
Yeah, and this
that's-
is mine is recording. It should just be recording me. I've tested it like a million times. So.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Then now, thumbs up if you're ready to actually start the episode proper.
Which means, Caleb, you're going to start with your line.
Yes.
All right.
So I'll give you another 5 countdown, and I'll point to you when to start. Oh, real quick, can you all hear this?
Yes. I'm hoping
you.
it's Adam's fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Paul. I love you, Paul.
I love you too.
All right. And so we're going to go ahead and start. Oh, you and your in and out. So jelly. Start in 5, 4, 3.
Ohana means family, which means no one is forgotten or left behind.
While listening to this episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Reflux capacitor, fluxing, crew, to stations. Scanning for Lilo and Stitch, 2002. Prepare to rewind in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, rewinders and new listeners, to the Retro Rewind podcast, where we take a fresh look at movies and games from 15 or more years ago. I am your captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz, and I'm joined by your XO and mine, Paul, the Master Interrupter, Alien Powers.
Hello, Ohana family.
Hello, Ohana family, to you, Paul. And also for this discussion of the film Lilo and Stitch, we welcome aboard for the first his first outing on the pod, host of the Mountain Nerds podcast, Caleb Ardoin. Am I saying that right, Caleb? I should have asked you before.
Not close, but good enough.
Ardoin?
Ardoin.
Ardoin?
I'm from South Louisiana, so.
Okay.
Is it Creole?
Caleb Ardoin.
Ardoin.
Welcome, Caleb.
Like a pirate.
Ardoin.
Sure.
Caleb, glad you're here. In addition to Caleb, we have back historian officer of the pod, Celeste Mora. Hey, Celeste.
Hello.
Hello. And now that you have a quick flyby of who we all are, Paul, can you give us a quick overview of production specs for Lilo and Stitch?
Yes, Leroy and Stitch is an hour and 13 minutes. Was released 2006.
Paul,
June 23rd, 2000.
That's not the right movie.
You didn't say, yeah, Leroy and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, the first one or the TV series? Before I say the TV. Okay. Thought maybe we're doing the TV.
I mean, maybe, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, let's go and just do Leroy and Stitch. I'm sure that might be better than
Leroy and Stitch.
I'm kidding.
An hour and
Lilo and Stitch, Paul. Go for Lilo and Stitch.
All right. Lilo and Stitch was released in theaters June 16th, the year 2002. It's even longer. It runs an hour and a half and is rated PG. It was directed by Dean DeBlois, or I don't know, they might be from Southern Louisiana or something too. And Chris Sanders. It was also written by Chris Sanders. I love that they have a title that says based on the idea by Chris Sanders.
Right.
You said it's based on a true story. I'd be more concerned.
Well, we don't know. And also Dean DeBois Blouse, I don't know, sorry, was also written by that person. With the lead stars being Dave Chase, and Tia Carrera. And my dog Bentley says hello.
Hello, Bentley.
The music was composed by Alan Silvestri with the help of my dog. And
obey my dog.
Yeah. Are you ready for some box office trivia?
I am ready. Caleb and Celeste, are you ready for some box office trivia?
Yes.
I am.
And chat, feel free to join in. Go for it, Paul.
Okay. Lilo and Stitch was made for about $80 million and earned about $250 million in the box office, not adjusted for inflation.
Not adjusted for inflation. Okay.
All right. Given this and the fact that it was released theatrically in 2002, how high in the box office do you think it ranks among the other movies released in 2002? We'll go for the top 50.
Top 50. Okay. Caleb, what is your gift? What is your guess for in the top 50 where it ranked for 2002 movies?
I would probably say 20s. Probably 22.
22? All right. How about you, Celeste?
I'm going to say 15.
15. Okay. I mean, I want to lowball this, but I also want to win. I'm at odds with myself.
It is Disney.
Yeah. I'm going to go for 13. My favorite number 13. In chat, we have 6 from Neko. D-Tungsten says 7. I think those are the only guesses so far. So, right. Paul, where did it end up ranking?
It was actually at 17.
Oh, 17. So, Celeste, you get that. Good job.
Yay.
You win.
That's my win.
Double the prize you got last time.
Much glory on the pod. How about that? Is that worth something?
That works.
But thank you for those factoids, Paul. And let's see if any of them factor into our memory mind meld or subsequent roundtable discussion, which we will get into once Alice has located our target film.
Alert. target. Spoilers incoming. Establishing analysis vector.
Alien lost. Paradise found.
How?
Walt Disney Pictures presents
You sure it's a dog?
I think it might be a koala.
a story of friendship, family, and finding your place in the universe.
Ohana.
Huh?
Ohana means nobody.
gets left behind.
So you're from outer space. I heard the Surfing's Choice.
Disney's Lilo and Stitch.
You ain't nothing but a hound.
Rated PG. In theaters June 21st.
Yeah, you may be nothing but a hound dog, but what memories were hounding us as we prepared to watch Lilo and Stitch? Let's find out in our memory mind meld synopsis for this film. Alien Stitch escapes police spaceship. Lilo and her sister speak with the caseworker Cobra Bubbles about Lilo's guardianship. Alien Stitch, Project 616, befriends disobedient child Lilo. Ohana means family. Through the power of love and Elvis, Lilo shows Stitch that he is worthy of love and doesn't have to be evil. Meanwhile, Plinky and Gumba try to capture Stitch. Stitch teaches Lilo that she is just fine the way she is. Finally, a big battle with the spaceships, and Cobra Bubbles is really a CIA agent and not a caseworker. Alien police arrest Stitch and take him away, end with photo montages. A lot of that was actually pretty accurate, but some of it was deceptive. I think Bubbles was actually a caseworker. He just formally was part of the CIA. And so, anyway, that's okay that we didn't get our memories quite right. But as flawed as they were, what prediction did they lead you to? What was your prediction for this film before you rewatched it? Classic, nostalgic, or tragic? Celeste, what was your prediction?
I predicted classic.
Okay. Kayla, what was your prediction?
Nostalgic.
Paul, what was your prediction?
Tiny bubbles. Oh, nostalgic.
And my prediction was tragic.
Really?
Surprised.
Now there's a
What?
shocker.
Well, okay, well, whatever, guys. You know what? Fine. Why don't we get into the things that, there were some things I liked about this film. So who knows? Maybe it will turn out to be a unanimous classic by the end. But before we're getting, yeah, it has happened before. We're getting ahead of ourselves, though. Let's talk about the things we liked most about Lilo and Stitch. Let's boot up our
Best 3.
or best 2 in this case, since we have 2 awesome guessos. So, Caleb, I'm going to start with you. What's one thing you liked about Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah, I like the. It's hard for me to pick my favorite because there was a lot of things that I liked, but ultimately
not your favorite.
Not my
Save
favorite. Okay,
but
I'm
one thing you liked.
favorite then.
Exactly.
I will say just the characters in the movie. I really enjoyed. It was a really wide variety of characters, and they were fun. They were really fun. With the different aliens, and then your human characters as well, and of course Lilo and Stitch were just really fun counterparts to each other. Mm-hmm. So that was, like that.
Yeah, they had a wide variety, and it wasn't just like two-dimensional, one-dimensional. Well, it was two-dimensional animation, but I like the characters. The history. It seems like each one was kind of like had their own history and stuff, and you can tell that. Yeah.
So did that make your like list?
No,
well,
I'm just
on
helping
to
Caleb, agreeing with him and saying, yeah, he's right.
Sure, guys.
Well, then Francisco's wrong. Good
what
job,
was
Caleb.
one thing you liked, Paul?
I really enjoyed the character design by Chris Sanders. He's an artist, and the styles of these characters. Mm-hmm. So it was great to watch them move and come to life, quote unquote.
I will say the character design for Stitch is pretty unique. I still don't know how anyone would think that's a dog, but I feel like it was a unique take on an alien, which I
don't see how people think he's toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. It was designed by the same person, but they both have the wide mouth and the big eyes, but they're totally different.
Yeah. Oh, I had never heard that, but
they have a similar outline, except for Stitch's ears are bigger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he has 6 arms or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
But he sucks 2 of those in.
Yeah,
that's true.
And he has a big tail that's broken and flies around. Oh wait, no.
Wrong one.
So that was wrong about Lilo and Stitch. Celeste, why don't you tell us something that is right for you about this film?
So I really enjoyed the music.
Yeah.
So I love Elvis anyway.
Oh,
So,
cool. Nice.
Like the fact that they included Elvis music or they put that little caveat to Lilo's character was funny to me. But then just the overall music was great.
By Alan Silvestri, you mean the score, or are you talking about the Elvis music throughout?
All of it.
Oh, okay, both. Cool.
So the score, the music, the Hawaiian roller coaster ride will get stuck in your head for weeks.
Yeah, love that one.
Hawaiian roller coaster ride?
Yes.
I'm not recalling it. But okay. Yeah. I mean, it got stuck in my head for weeks. I'm sure I'm hearing it right now, in fact.
We were literally playing it earlier.
Before we started recording.
Anyway, so the music.
Did you watch this movie? I'm just
Yes, I watched it over the course of 3 days. Okay, so something I liked about this.
Sorry, man, I have to dog
movie.
you a little bit. I know it's your show, but
that's fine. Everyone else does it. Just pile on. Why not?
Yeah, my dog says it too.
He's dog piling.
Guys, this was my
literally.
first and last appearance on the show.
Something I enjoyed about this film was I liked David. I really enjoyed his character. You guys said you liked a lot of the characters. I thought David was the one character I wanted to root for. I would have liked to have seen more of him in this. Yeah, the guy who burned himself.
All right.
Except for his one silly line that says, I hear the waves in space are choice. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no waves in space? But okay, whatever.
That's how surfers talk sometimes.
I guess.
Just trying to connect.
Okay, fine. But I appreciate his character. Would have liked to have seen more of David. But with that, let's get into the things we loved most about Lilo and Stitch. And I'm going to go to Lesty this time.
Okay. So my classic maker is the attention that Disney put to the cultural aspects of things.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I like the Hawaiian dances at the beginning.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of subtle things, like certain lines that if you don't know and understand certain Hawaiian culture.
Like Ohana?
References, yeah, like Ohana. When Lilo put the flowers on the lei on Stitch, and he just kind of like, boom. It wasn't that.
What was about that? Why did that happen?
This is not confirmed. This is a theory online, but the theory is that leis symbolize they're like the personification of aloha, which is faith, love, whatever. And so the idea was that she's like literally going, "Look, I love you," and he goes, "Well, I don't know how to handle this." It may just be people reading into it, but it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, okay. That's
There's
cool.
a couple of other things in there, but that was the easiest example in my brain at the moment.
Okay, nice. I like it. So just the cultural element that they bring to this film that was much better done in Moana. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Celeste.
Easy.
Different culture.
Okay.
Different culture.
They're both Polynesian, though, kind of. I think they're both Polynesian.
One's Hawaiian and the other one's Hawaiian. What are you talking about?
Anyway, Caleb, what was your classic maker? Did it have to do with the cultural aspect of this as well, or maybe the alien cultural aspect of this film?
It did not.
Where the waves of choice.
It was the general. It was the general theme of family and having that sense of belonging. Like this movie, just like rewatching it for me is like a long time ago when I watched it. It was I came from a family that's divorced, and kind of split up and broken up, and so. Having that, like, kind of no one gets left behind, as a kid when you're divorced, when you're a kid and you go through that, your parents go through that, you feel kind of alone and you feel like you're left behind. Yeah. And so when I was a kid, I watched this, it kind of like, oh, well, like that's what I want. And now as an adult who has children in I have foster children, and that's my family, and so rewatching this kind of was like, wow, that's, for me, it's just kind of, really makes you feel good, especially there was parts of the film that really like with the caseworker thing, I know exactly how that is because I go through that. So some of those
were any of
elements,
that tough?
Yeah, some of them are actually really that tough. And
really?
Do their fingers say Cobra?
No, I didn't have Cobra Bubbles, but actually I would love a Cobra Bubbles caseworker.
Wasn't that amazing? That looked just like Ving Rhames, the actor who voiced it, with the sunglasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I recognize his voice. Okay,
I googled it after, and I was like, "Oh, that voice sounds familiar."
Yeah.
But I really love that theme. It's like it's real personal to me. So
absolutely, yeah.
It's a great way how they show the characters connect.
Yes, totally. And that, I mean, that really goes into my classic maker, which I like the concept, and I'll stress the concept of an alien outcast finding a home with a girl that also felt like an outcast and creating this family. I thought that was a great concept. Again, a good concept, Paul.
It's a great movie. I agree. Okay.
So that is my classic maker. Paul, why don't you cap us off here? What did you love most about Lilo?
I'm so glad your classic maker was E.T. So my classic maker is very subtle. And I'm a sucker for 2D animation that's done really well, and this is a great example.
Oh, totally. I will agree with that.
I love just to watch the lines and colors move. It's fantastic.
Very, very cool. Darn it.
What?
It's something else that's fantastic that I totally forgot to mention about.
E.T.?
No, Geek Devotions. Cool. Geek Devotions is a collaboration of devoted geeks that are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. They produce a weekly geek culture-infused devotional, their podcast Com Talk, and written articles, all designed to encourage and challenge people in the geek community, bridging the gap between their faith and their geekdoms. Find all their content at geekdevotions.com. And me and Paul actually just did a geek devotion on Vampire D Bloodlust recently, so go check that out as well.
Y'all finished up our Fangtober.
Yeah.
Oh yes, for your Fangtober series on vampires and stuff, and that geekdom. So very cool.
So everyone go check that out. But
indeed,
what does that have to do with Lilo and Stitch?
Well, see, Lilo was sucking the resources dry. Stitch was sucking the resources dry of Lilo.
My dog's not believing you.
Well, they did say that Nani's boss was a vampire.
Oh, yeah, that's the connection.
Okay, my dog says that's okay.
Okay, that's good. Would your dog also like to hear some trivia about
Definitely.
Definitely. Right. And my apologies for not letting you guys know this ahead of time, but hopefully we'll roll with this okay.
Yeah.
So, did you all realize that the name Lilo means generous one, and its origin is Hawaiian, if that makes sense?
Know what I noticed is that Nani means what in Japanese?
It does.
Sister every time.
I know. I can say Nani. But it can, so back to Lilo, it can also be interpreted as lost, and this would give the song title Himele no Lilo a loose translation as Lullaby of the Lost. The name Nani in Hawaiian means beautiful. So
what?
Yeah.
Japanese. Sorry.
But I am curious, do you all know what your first names or last names mean? Like, what's the etymology of them?
Go
Caleb?
for it, Celeste.
Yeah, go for it, Celeste.
Okay. So Celeste means heavenly. My middle name means abounding joy.
Oh, cool.
Mora means blackberry.
Oh,
so your name means heavenly, abounding, joyous blackberry.
Yes. I'm a happy blackberry or a blueberry. It can go either way.
Nice. How about you, Caleb?
Yeah, mine is, I believe it's bold one. So
bold one. Oh, nice.
My last name Artwa comes from an old Cajun word that means we don't know how to pronounce your last name. That's what
most of Louisiana.
Oh my gosh. Paul, how about yourself?
Yeah, Paul means small, and my middle name John means toilet. So I'm a small toilet.
I don't think John actually means toilet.
I know. I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights. They confirmed it. And,
oh my gosh! Oh yeah, that documentary, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
And Powers is actually a very long derivative of the word poor. So
Really?
small, poor toilet.
So
Wow.
the have you seen the toilets that are like in third world countries where you have to like squat over them?
Yeah, they have them in first world, like Japan. It still has them in
Your
some.
name means a squatty potty?
Wow. I have to go home and rethink my life.
Wow.
I love you, Paul.
Oh
Love
my
you too.
word. And I thought I was getting the heat.
Is that it? Do you want to tell us what Francisco means?
Sure, I can.
Sure.
I'm waiting for you to say great trivia, Francisco, but that's fine. I'll take
Well,
Francisco.
I like to keep things on the edge for you because you
sure do. Francisco is kind of boring. It just means Frenchman. And then
Saint
Ruiz.
Frenchman?
No, just Frenchman. That'd be Saint Francisco, Paul.
Oh, that would be San Francisco. Okay,
That'd
that's what
be
I'm
San
thinking.
Francisco,
Okay.
yes. No,
a
Francisco
tree.
just means Frenchman. And Ruiz is like just a derivative of some like old noble family or something. It's not really, doesn't really mean anything.
Did they
from what I
create
could.
some orange and yellow candies in the E.T. movie, the Reese's Pieces? No.
Yeah. I'm
Is that
actually
why you like that? That's why you hate that movie because they didn't give you your cut, right?
Yeah, exactly. See, it's all coming together here on the
All
Lilo
right.
and Stitch episode.
Great trivia, Francisco. You want to keep
Paul.
moving on?
Yes,
And now that we've all had some fun trivia, let's find out what memories you, our awesome rewinders, actually, you're rad rewinders had about Lilo and Stitch.
So James Felix opens up with Lilo says, did you lose? Oh, no, that's Lilo's the girl. Did you lose your job because of Stitch and me? Nani? Says, nah, the manager's a vampire. He wanted me to join his Legion of the Undead. Lilo, I knew it.
Are you going to quote the whole movie?
That's what James quoted. What do you want from me?
Actually, I'm
Drew
gonna-
Dawson.
Yeah, hold on. There was one more that I wanted to include that was left. Sorry. So here's your
How did
one,
I miss
Edna.
it?
So because it was done recently.
Oh,
Let's-
okay. Thank you. Go for it.
All right, let me take a moment here. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I'll give you something to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think this Edna should count against my 2, by the way.
Yes,
I didn't initiate
This is one.
Fine. This is 1.
Right.
The question is, does Edna mode count once we're talking about young Indiana Jones?
Of course. It is
Of
an.
course it does.
Yeah.
Ruiz, Bean Boozles, D. Tungsten. Wow.
Oh, you can start making some money. I bet you make more money if Calculus sold it. Just saying.
True. I like that we could audibly hear you slap your forehead.
Okay. I'm ready.
Go for it.
Drew Dodgen says that poor man never got to eat his ice cream.
Never did.
No, he didn't. As Steve Hamilton says, just that it makes me want to go back to Hawaii and Elvis.
And Alex Ortiz leaves us off with saying it's a super sad movie. If you don't know why, that just means you have to watch it again.
Does it though?
Yeah,
And
we'll talk about why.
as great as Elvis the King is, let's talk about the things that make Lilo and Stitch quite a bit beneath royalty. Let's spin a power.
Worst 3.
Or worse 2 in this case. And I'm going to kick things off because I'm reared to go.
Oh, no.
So the thing I mentioned before that David I really liked. I liked none of the characters in this besides David. Oh my
What?
goodness. They all had their little moments of sweetness, but that might as well have just been like, sugar to help the arsenic go down or something. I just could not connect with any of these characters. Not any of them, except for small blips along the way, except for David. So, yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about with
Hey, you couldn't even
fun
connect
characters.
with Captain Gantu either because he was also really salty.
I,
And I'm
you
feeling
know
a
what?
lot of salt
You know what?
coming
Honestly, I did like Gantu because he's trying to follow the rules, do what
Yep.
he's told, and then he gets punished at the end. What the junk, Disney? Whatever.
Wait,
So,
Gantu was the twerpy one, right?
No, he is the big
Look,
shark-looking guy. That's a giant.
Yeah. He's the
Yeah.
doctor. Okay.
Let's see. So that was something I didn't like. Let's go to Paul next. What's something you didn't like about this film? Haha.
Sorry, I have so many here. I'm trying to. Okay, this is a little quibble, but so what's her name? Lilo is trying to hide from Nani, and I got I was lucky enough to get the Blu-ray before they made changes, and she hides in the dryer, and then Disney changed it from a dryer to like a cupboard with a pizza box cover. So
really?
That scene is the scene I'm talking about. But Nani climbs on top of the cupboard or the dryer.
Yeah.
And Lilo can't hear her. I mean, if you're going to hear anything, you're going to hear that above else. If someone's stomping on top on whatever you're hiding under.
That's fair. Yeah.
It doesn't make. There's moments that kind of don't make sense, even with like space alien stuff. But that one was very egregious as an example.
All right. I mean, I didn't notice that, but yes, I will throw my lot in with that as another example of horribleness about this film. Let's go to Caleb next. What's something you didn't like about this film?
I'll jump back since we talked about Captain Gantu. I didn't really like his role within the film. Just because he was.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It was not that I didn't like he was. I say he was a great villain, but the thing about it is he only was in the movie for like barely part of it. He really wasn't built up to be this like big villain character, but then he was. It was super awkward.
He was a villain? I didn't think of him as a villain. He's just doing his job, Caleb.
He was in he was in the film for like maybe 20 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
Like the beginning, and then he came in like right towards the end. They didn't really give him any kind of anything. I would like to have seen more with his character. Just kind
That's true. He's a great character that needed more screen time.
I can get behind that.
In the series.
Him and David should do a buddy cop show in this universe. I'd totally watch that.
At least an episode.
But if anyone's the villain, it's the head matron gal who's like, go do this. Oh, you failed. You go do this. Oh, you
she's
failed.
just doing her job because she has to answer to a council.
Whatever. Celeste, what's something you didn't like? Was it Gantu? Was it any characters particularly, or something else?
It was one particular instance where when David comes and tells Nani that there's a job, she leaves Lilo.
Yeah.
Like, you know that
the
Bubbles is coming. No, not the fire department.
Oh,
you know
Bubbles.
that Bubbles is coming. You know that that's a big no-no, even if it is just up the street. Like, why are you going to leave the kid? Take her with you.
Yeah.
I can't do that in foster care.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you can't. And so it seemed very counter to what she had been striving to do, because up until that point, with the exception of, the whole fighting and telling Lilo she wished she wasn't there thing, she was doing a pretty good job of being a parent in a situation where she shouldn't have had to have been.
Yeah.
Well, is that just them showing that she's a flawed character? Like, we all make decisions that we shouldn't do, even we know we shouldn't do, and sometimes we still do it.
Maybe, but I also feel like they showed that she was responsible enough to have not done that.
That's true. It didn't follow
what they'd already built up for her.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay, that's fair. Well, maybe you guys can help elucidate me about something then, because
if I knew what that word meant, sure.
Make clear to me. Make something complex clear to me, Paul.
Transparent. Okay.
Yes. No, we're opaque. Now we're clear. I'm curious if you got that line. I was gonna let people.
I'm sorry, I ruined it.
Jeez, you're the master interrupter, not the master ruiner, Paul. Stay in your lane.
Both. That's the tragic maker right there.
I'm curious if this has to do with any of your tragic makers. Speak up. I did not understand why Lilo was so at odds with like not wanting to let her sister help take care of her. Did she just hate her sister? Did she not want to be there? Did she want to go into the foster system? It did not. I had no idea. There was nothing to help me figure out why she was like boarding herself into the house and making it so hard on her sister.
It's from, and this is we're getting to kind of a serious note here, but in being in going through that system and stuff, kids do have that mindset where they're just kind of like trying to live their life, be kids. And not that she was trying to, just kind of watching this in my mind, not that she was trying to be resistant or not trying to, but I think, when kids are taking out of a situation, or in this case, they lose their parents, they lose their support system, they feel kind of like lost in a way, and they feel kind of helpless. And in this case, Lilo was just trying to find, in my opinion, she was trying to fill that gap. So it's not that she was just trying to be like, I don't care. It's more or less in my head that she was just trying to find that happiness that she was trying to seek.
Did you see the beginning? I felt like she didn't care, but all right. I guess
what? Go
You
ahead.
also have to take
That's a
into
fair
account-
observation, Caleb. Go ahead, Celeste.
You also have to take into account we don't know how old Lilo is, and we
She's
also
like
don't.
7.
Okay.
She's
I'll go for
between
7.
the ages of 4 and 11.
Yes.
Cross-
I was actually kind of curious how old Nani was too. I was like,
She's
how
the ages
old was-
between 4 and 40.
I think she'd have to at least be
Somewhere's in
18 to
there.
be a guardian, wouldn't she?
Yeah,
have
she'd
to be?
have to be at least 18.
Yeah.
But kids process grief differently.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
know how close to losing their parents they were. She
Mhm.
makes mention several times, and this is not something I picked up on when I was a kid, but rewatching this, I did. At one point, she goes, "Everyone looks at me differently now,"
Yeah.
and so that to
Oh, I
me
didn't hear
says that
that.
it was a more recent thing. So she's processing her emotions when she doesn't have the skill set to do so, which means she's going to do things that don't make sense.
Mhm. All right.
And
Doesn't
here,
mean I have to
and
like it, but all right, fair. fair.
I'll leave it you with this Bible verse is Proverbs 22:15. And remember this, Francisco, that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
All
That's right. So why does she do foolish things?
Because he's a child.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough, Paul. Jesus juking me already. All right, I got it.
Gosh, Francisco, let her grieve. Come on, man.
Let her destroy the house. What's wrong
She
with
can
you?
grieve in obedience. Why is that so out there as a concept? Let's see.
Trying to be happy, man.
Let's get into our tragic makers, the things we hated about this film. And I sort of spoke to mine already, honestly, so I'll just sort of loop it back and say, I don't get why Gantu was fired at the end, because, yeah, he's just doing his job. He made one mistake, and they fire him for it? I think that's a little ridiculous, especially when this gal is she's the one that's assigning these people to go do the things, and she keeps assigning people that are incompetent. She should get fired, but whatever. That's my tragic maker. Celeste, what's yours?
Just going to talk on your tragic maker for just
Go.
a minute.
Go
for it.
Just a second. It could be that because we've already stated that the head lady had to answer to a council, and they put a human in danger on a protected planet. So it could be she was doing that preemptively to save her own butt.
All right, that's fair. Like
'Cause that's-
I'll throw you under the bus so that I don't get the heat. Okay,
Well-
that makes sense.
And good example is there are certain things in my line of work where if you do this, you're pretty much just going to need to go start packing your stuff up.
Yeah.
And one of them I've seen happen is there was a test that needed to be done on somebody. They called the wrong patient, verified the wrong name and date of birth, gave the patient basically the equivalent of 4 Snickers
Nice.
for a test to test how your body processes sugar.
Sounds like Halloween to me.
Right. And then drew the blood on the wrong patient.
That's not Halloween.
If
Well,
that's
for
one of
some
those
people
things,
it is.
if the patient had been sensitive to sugar,
Yeah,
that could have seriously injured them. That is an immediate fire offense.
Yeah.
Sure.
So to me, it's the same thing. They put a human in danger,
Yeah.
they get fired.
Wait, I'm so confused. They asked, "Hey, is this your name?" And the person said, "Oh yeah, that's my name," and it wasn't their name.
Or
Well-
they said no, and he's like, I don't care.
Or
Moving
they
on.
went, "Hey, so and so, come back," and the wrong person misheard, stood up, and they didn't verify anything else.
So
Oh,
that's
okay.
probably, yeah. that makes-
Okay,
The rest
that
of
makes
that's
more
still
sense.
sketchy.
Okay, that's fair.
So
enough.
my tragic maker, though,
Yes,
Paul
go for it.
actually touched on this,
Mm.
is that they changed the dryer to a cabinet with the pizza thing.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that they changed it, although that is annoying. It's more a matter of they didn't consistently change it.
Meaning.
Oh, is it a dryer in other scenes?
Mm-hmm. When you first see it, it's the cabinet with the pizza box. When you see it later in that same room, like it's a cabinet beside a washer.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, when you see the washer, there is a dryer.
Well,
that's because they were trying to feng shui the room. They had to keep moving the furniture, and then just that other scene, they just moved it back.
Yeah, that explains it. Yeah,
it looks better.
If you're going to go through the difficulty of changing something like that, be consistent.
They did a good job at changing it. Like it
They
looks
did.
like it's supposed to be part of that scene. It's not like one of those like, oh, this is a cut and paste job. It's like
Right.
they reanimated it.
It
and
looked
looks
great.
Good.
It's
Yeah.
just they dropped it off. They forgot that dryer was in the scene later, and that somebody's going to go, oh, look, that's a thing.
Maybe
So
it's
that-
a wink back to the audience who remember it from before. Maybe I don't know.
Well, you know what? This just goes. So speaking of consistency, Celeste,
You
don't
done it
uh-oh me. Paul. I mean, we were saying how you guys are making very valid reasons why Lilo was grieving the way she was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's consistent that a girl that is sort of like not thinking very rationally would go into a dryer. So now you're taking away her agency of disobedience by sticking her in a cabinet. So
Child's
which is it
in
going to be?
danger.
Which is it going to be, Disney? Have it be obedient child or don't? Pick a lane here. Thank you. Good night.
I like Elaine too.
Get out. Shove. Let's go to Caleb for your tragic maker.
I felt that there were parts. The length of the movie was fine, perfect, but I think there were some parts that were kind of like rushed. It felt like some things that
I could
they
see
should
that.
have
Yeah.
explored more of. Like once again, the Gantu thing. Like they should have kind of dove more into his character. There were some parts where it's like I was watching and I was like, so Stitch was bad, and then he's all of a sudden kind of good. Like
I didn't really get that.
That went too fast to me.
Yes, I agree.
They didn't build that up enough where it should have been a more, I guess, better process there. I don't know. Something should have happened to Lilo, and then Stitch would have went, all right, and kind of started changing that way. It was just like this whole. There was just, I don't know. It was like, oh, I'm good now. Like,
it's almost like
it was awkward.
There should have been some sort of save the cat moment with Stitch, is what I think I'm hearing.
Yeah,
from you.
some
Like,
sort of moment that.
Yeah.
Where he, yeah.
Okay.
And then I want to see more Cobra Bubbles, man.
He was, yeah. I
Oh,
can see
put him
that.
with your buddy cop movie, the three of them.
Yes. David Gantu and Bubbles on the road, solving crimes in a future time.
And surfing the waves in space.
Oh my. Well, then that leaves Paul. What is your tragic maker for Lilo and Stitch?
This I think is maybe just applies to me because I've talked about it with other people and they don't really see it that way. But for some reason, towards the beginning, when Lilo, little girl, punches the redhead girl in the face, that really disturbs me. Like,
sure, yeah.
It is like, for some reason, I find it more horrifying than like a Rocky movie where they're just pummeling each other. I don't know why, but it's really, I don't know, maybe it's the way it's done or something. It's just really disturbing to see a cute little child punch another cute little child in the face, and everybody seems to be like,
in the face when you were a kid?
Yeah, no. And
you didn't punch little girls in the face, Paul, when you were a kid? Come on.
That's what I missed out on life, and so it just really bothers me. And to a point where it's very disturbing to me.
See, for me, I think it would have made more sense if that came later, because the redhead is very mean to her throughout. So it's not earned by that point, though, that she
I don't
would
think
feel
it's
like
earned later, but that's
I mean, it makes more sense later. It's certainly not a good thing to have happen, but there isn't enough of that built up resentment that the audience has been developing for that girl to make it at least somewhat justifiable why Lilo would do that.
Look, I understand kids fight, and you could you could still have Lilo punch her and like get in a fight, but like don't show it. Turn the backs or something. I don't want to see it.
Okay, that's fair. Interesting.
At the same time, it in my opinion, it seems like it could have been like, all right, we're showing this because Lilo's angry. She has built up.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and kids
you
lash
lost
out.
your parents.
I
You're angry.
I understand. It's just for
gonna
me
set you off.
personally, it bothers me way, and I think about it for days. Like,
wow. Okay.
So
Well, Paul,
totally fair.
First rule about Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club. So
yeah.
Wow.
I didn't hear that because I'm not supposed to talk about that.
I don't remember what the little redheaded girl said, but all I know is that when Lilo went to punch her, I was like, "Yeah, get her."
Oh wow!
Like, whatever
I'm
it
with you,
was,
Celeste.
it made me go, "Ooh, you deserve that."
Oh, we're on two different sides of the camp. All right.
Apparently, now let's see what sides of the camp we are on when it comes to our final reign for Lilo and Stitch. Alice,
Francisco's heart changed 3 sizes.
Firing solution complete. Rating salvo at the ready. On your mark.
do we rate Lilo and Stitch a classic? We'd recommend anyone go see this film, whether or not they've seen it before. A nostalgic, it's worth your time to rewatch if you enjoyed it as a kid or a young adult. Definitely go back, revisit it, enjoy those nostalgic memories. But if you've never seen it, watch another film. Or is it a tragic? We'd recommend no one go see this. If you haven't seen it before, keep it that way. If you have seen it before and have fond memories, don't sully those memories with a rewatch. Let's start with our newest guest. Caleb, what is your final reign, classic, nostalgic, or tragic for Lilo and Stitch?
I went classic. After
predicting nostalgic, you went classic. Are you sure? Oh, did you maybe you confuse what I said? So classic is things you want other people to watch. Tragic is what you
people
say
need to watch Lilo and Stitch. I want my kids to watch Lilo and Stitch.
No, I don't think you're understanding
how to stand up
this.
for yourself. How to burn down the house.
Oh my word. All right, so classic from Caleb after your nostalgic prediction. Lesty, you predicted classic. What did your final rating turn out to be?
I give it a final rating of classic.
Wow.
I think this is one of the best movies that Disney's done.
Wow, did you hear that, Francisco?
Like,
I heard Paul.
It's one of my favorites. I will legitimately, it's probably been about a year since I've watched it, but I will put this on as an adult and listen to it while I'm doing other things.
Oh, this is where you made the mistake, Francisco. You invited the wrong people.
Oh!
No, you invited the right people.
Okay, but did you rate this the right rating, Paul? You predicted nostalgic. What was your final rating?
My final rating is nostalgic.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, if you enjoyed it, or if you're an animation buff like I am, go check it out. But I wouldn't say, like, if you haven't seen it, wouldn't say it's like, oh, you need to see this. So,
for me, so two classics is nostalgic. For me,
change of heart.
I would say that this movie, Lilo and Stitch, is a classic example of a tragic Disney movie. It is so bad. There's no reason to waste your time with this movie.
Let me guess. Rebellious child.
Oh, that's just one. And a rebellious alien. It's just...
He's a child. He's brand new. He's actually younger than Lilo.
Okay, well, okay, great. Then another disobedient child. Fine. Oh, this movie. So according to the Retro Rewind podcast, we rate Lilo and Stitch a disputed classic film. We recommend anyone go watch this, whether or not you've seen it before. So now we're getting something in. Hold on, real quick. We're getting a message. And what is this, Alice? What's happening now?
Jacob, Retro Rewind podcast just rated Lilo and Stitch a classic. What are your thoughts on that?
Okitabaku bacha.
This is a family show. You don't need to be saying that on their podcast.
I said it's okay. Let's go. It was great.
Okay. I apologize.
Hey, you got to understand my language, man.
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. Of course, the only way I can imagine we got to this point is either Francisco missed the episode somehow, or perhaps he finally learned the joy of Disney, or at least this might be one of the few Disney films that's gotten through his filter.
Nope.
So yeah, I mean, this is obviously we obviously thought this was a classic
absolutely.
film. And if you want to hear us go into more detail about those thoughts, way back on our episode dated August 29th of 2020, we did Lilo and Stitch hashtag Release it, you cowards!
All right.
That's great, Drew
Who
and
was
Jacob.
that?
Drew and Jacob from the Cellcast, another member of Culture Box Media Network.
I knew that.
I know you know that, and you're asking for everyone else. I appreciate that, Paul. Apparently, they don't have good taste either, but that's okay. I'm Kane. We love Drew and Jacob. Thank you for calling in, guys. I don't know why you felt compelled to, but all right. Well, now that we have all entered, we already entered our final rating.
Yes,
but
yes.
It would be awesome to get back to our own time. Good old 20XX.
20XX.
Comsat online. Receiving incoming transmission.
Ooh, feels good to be back, but we wouldn't have been able to travel back to 2002 to begin with if it weren't for our amazing reflux capacitors, namely...
While we're taking an Edna mode.
I know, you cannot Edna mode me on that.
You were taking a big gulp of water that doesn't belong.
It doesn't matter. I can cut that out without any sound. Now there's an Edna mode because you brought it to it. We're still only at 2 though. You still don't got me yet, Paul.
But I'm echoing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to call me out.
He's been trying to signal that to you for a minute.
So here's the thing, guys. All your videos are frozen on my screen.
Oh,
I can't see. So I can't see you moving or anything.
Is your bandwidth low?
I guess, but for me, all of you are at red bar for the bandwidth. It's all red. So it might just be me.
Yeah,
since
because
we
everyone
are
else is moving.
Since we are in Edna mode, let me go ahead and just do a quick refresh and see if that helps me. So I'll be right back.
Oh, darn it. This could have been another Edna.
Wow.
All right, now that he's gone, let's change it to a unanimous classic.
Right.
Yay, he's down in the corner now where he belongs with
Could
this
it be
tragic
the GIF
rating.
that's causing problems, Francisco?
What am I hearing right now?
Hello?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes. Can you hear stickers?
I'm hearing Never Ending Story going right now.
Oh, weird. Well, that'll flag.
No, I mean, it's me singing it. It's like someone did a shout out. Yeah, and it's playing a clip.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
yeah,
it's
go
done
follow
now.
Retro Rewind at some. Yeah.
And I am hearing stickers now. Stop, please, with the stickers. I don't want to have to worry about that. Please don't do stickers or anything, guys.
Luckily, I can't hear him, but I wonder if.
But now you're all moving again. Fantastic. Okay, I'll listen. Stop it. I will go turn stickers off. I'll do it.
Why don't you turn them off? Oh, because you don't want to have to remember to turn them back on again.
I mean, that's part of it, sure, but
quick, do more shout outs before he turns them off.
Hilarious, Paul. Okay. Oh, I know. Let me just turn that off. Now I won't hear it. Ha 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 ha. I still hear it. Why do I still hear it? There's no way I can hear it. Why? Why? I don't understand. Whatever. You guys can't hear it. I'm just going to ignore it for now. So we'll continue. Okay. You guys couldn't just hear that whoa clink, did you? Okay. Dang it! Why are you shouting me out now? Whoever did that, because now I have to. Now I'm hearing this. How can I turn this off? Seriously.
No signal.
I know. Hold on. Why? Where is this? I need to look up where this is more quickly. Thank you guys for your patience. Are we getting to your time, Caleb?
We're still good.
Okay.
Hold on, folks. We just entered the slow and boring mode.
I'm Paul. I'm so funny. Just turning everything off. It all is going off. Just all of it is off. You can't see anything. You can hear me still, I think, but
Can't see you.
now can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully it's all off now. I won't be getting any more disturbances.
Someone put Davey in the corner.
Oh no.
Okay.
And we're all in the corner, so we're all babies. Sorry.
Anyway, you're usually head Francisco? What does that mean? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Okay, well, we'll continue on with, so you just did the, look, feels good to be back.
Yeah,
then
you're about to read our amazing reflux capacity.
That's right. Thank you. Jared Holzhauer, Deborah Powers, Brian Keating, Patrick Hicks, LJ Lowry, Chris Cowan, Chris Owens, Geek Devotions, you're right here, The Untold Podcast, James Kennison, Drew of the Cellcast, Ashley Cronenbitter, Pastor Dewson, Kenneth N, Redeemed Otaku, That's Our Babo, Josh Adams, D Tungsten, Andy Lewis, Jeff, The Dapper Man Reviews, Tony from the Retro Jays, Mr. Lost, in addition to 10 other awesome patrons as well. Thank you all so much for keeping the gigawatts coming. And if you want to help us keep flying for as little as $1 a month and get bonus content for your generosity, head over to retrorewindpodcast.com/support to help us grow via Patreon, Subscribestar, or PayPal.
This stream is sponsored by PaulJPowers.com.
And while we're thanking our supporters, we want to give a big galactic hug to our guests for coming and supporting us with their review and thoughts about Lilo and Stitch tonight. So we're going to do alphabetical order and start with Celeste. Thank you for coming. Where can people find you online? Or is there anything cool you got going on that people should know about?
So you can find me online over at Geek Devotions. The easiest way to find everything that we do with Geek Devotions is to go to geekdevotions.com. We have various and sundry things such as website articles. We have Facebook Bible studies. We have Twitch streams. We just started a new podcast in addition to our other podcast called The Bottom Shelf, where we review critically acclaimed bad movies. I am not a part of that one regularly because I just can't.
Understood.
Just can't.
Well,
I tried to make it through some things.
I mean, but Celeste, you're here for this epically bad movie, so I'm confused.
But I love this one. So, like, I will try to watch them, and if it's as bad as one particular movie, which I don't know if that episode's come out yet or not, and 30 minutes in, I looked at Dallas and went, I need ice cream. If I'm going to watch any more of this, I need ice cream.
Yeah, something to...
And then I finished the ice cream, and I went, I'm going to bed.
Nice.
So that was my thoughts on the movie.
Nice.
But you can also find me over on Playing Games with Strangers. We are a family-friendly actual play D&D podcast. We keep things PG. We get a little more serious with some stuff. But,
I was surprised this movie was PG. I saw that. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, we definitely deal with some heavy things, but you don't have to worry about profanity. You don't have to worry about situations that are a bit more risque.
But you bring the gore, right? We like monsters just getting lopped in half and stuff.
I mean, in the last session, somebody did get swallowed, and then spit back up.
Speaking of blood, I thought it was cool that Stitch had Klingon blood, like that Pepto-Bismol pink. That was fun.
Wait, he bled in this?
No, they took like some blood out of him with the syringe.
Oh yeah. That's right. Okay.
All right, and we also. First of all, thanks again, Celeste, for joining us. So glad to have you again, and thank you, Caleb. Where can people find you online? Is there anything cool you got going on that people should know?
Yeah, you can find us on our various social medias, on Twitter at Nerds Mountain, on Facebook at Mountain Nerds Podcast, and on Instagram at Mountain Nerds Pod. I also stream on Sundays. I had to think for a second. I stream on Sundays. My times are kind of various. Kind of whenever my kids go to bed, I start streaming. It's usually Sunday evenings around between 7 and 8. Now, twice a month we do a space RPG. kind of like D&D as well.
Oh, yeah.
We are on our 4th campaign. It is family friendly. We do have, a little bit of violence, but right now it's super silly, goofy. If you've ever seen any like space comedies, that's pretty much what it is. It's really, really fun. So we do that twice a month. And we will be doing that in not this. Actually, we're not this week. Me and my wife are streaming fun game, but the following we will be doing a new one. So I'm excited to get back to it. So.
And so, what's the Twitch channel to watch that?
Oh, it's twitch.tv/Mountain Nerds.
Awesome. And by the time you're hearing this, dear listener, if you listen to this when it comes out, that should be coming. That episode on Caleb's Twitch should be coming out this coming Sunday. So
yeah, and you can also find us on various our various podcasting app of choice as well. We do a podcast as well. I can't believe I forgot about the podcast. That's like the main part that I do. Our podcast, you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcast, anything like that. Go give it a listen. We do really fun episodes. We do some really goofy stuff. We do we've done an episode about fast food. We do episodes about interviewing other geeks with passions and hobbies, and it's fantastic. And we also I have been putting our space RPG on our podcast, so if you do miss an episode or two, you can go back and re-listen to those.
Very cool. Yeah. And we have a question from chat. D Tungstens asks, space comedy like Spaceballs, or like do you have a movie that you say is similar to?
If you've ever seen the show The Orville, it's the same kind of we're Christians, we're keep everything clean, but it's like goofy and stupid in that sort of way. So
gotcha. Okay,
it's really
very
fun,
cool.
though.
Well, thank you so much, Caleb, for being on the show as well.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah. But now that darn dang it. Fine, there's your third end motor. Are you happy? Are you all happy? I hope you're all happy with the 3-ended modes. I hope you're just living it up. Okay, where did Paul go, by the way?
He ran away. I just think it's funny that the screen was like, there's a person here, and that's not...
Oh, the Jughead? Yes.
That was great.
I was waiting for Paul to be back. You got your third Edna mode, Paul. I hope you're happy. We can't hear you yet, but...
Sorry, I tried to do it when I could sneak in and sneak out without it interrupting the flow.
Oh, no, it's something on my end. It didn't have to do with you going.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I just lost my place in the notes, so that's the problem. So
thank you again for guests, and a hearty har thank you. Sorry,
and thank you. Yeah, I want to say thank you again to Celeste and Caleb for joining us, and a hearty thanks to those of you listening for the first time, and of course all of you who are part of the Rad Rewinder community. You all who watch us live every week, whether we are recording this podcast like right now or playing retro games, you're all an amazing group of people helping sustain the pod. But if you are looking for ways to get involved in growing this Retro Rewind endeavor, reach out to us on social media where we are at Retro Rewind Pod, pretty much everywhere. You could buy some of our merch also. Maybe leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Become a monthly patron, or simply just share your favorite episode of the podcast with a friend so that more people can enjoy the content of the Retro Rewind Pod.
Hold everything! Earth is a protected wildlife reserve. Yeah, we've been using it to rebuild the mosquito population, which, need I remind you, is an endangered species.
You have been listening to RetroRewindPodcast.com/236, our endangered species of this podcast. No, the review of Lilo and Stitch. With me, your XO, PaulJPowers.com. You can find me online and all my social media links at PaulJPowers.com.
Oh, wow. That's easy to remember. Thank you for being an awesome and amazing friend, Paul. It's so fun getting to do this voyage of the pod with you. I have been and continue to be the captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz. Find me on Twitter at FXRetro_, especially if you need pixel artwork commissioned.
We are now part of the Culture Box Media Network. You can find all of the shows unpacking truth through story, comedy, and geekery at culturebox.media. And with that, Captain, we are on final approach to base. Hopefully it's not blown up by spaceships.
Hopefully not. Thank you, EXO, and thank you all for listening. We pray you are more joyful now than when you first hit play. But like a Pokemon, we gotta catch you all for Austin Powers, yeah, baby, our next episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
That's your Austin Powers impression?
Retro Rewind mission complete. Proceed to nav point Omega and return to base.
Okay, so I know I said timeout. Why was I timing out?
I didn't know if you wanted me to play that or not.
No.
But welcome to another Edna mode, folks.
Yeah, great, but
we're on 4, by the way. Are we counting? Is this 4? Or?
This is fine. This is 4. But I'm like, why did I want to stop here? There was some reason that I wanted.
I thought you were trying to say stop the recording, so I hit
stop.
I thought
that's what it was. I want to just.
That's what it was. Okay.
For me, not you guys. You guys keep going.
Oh,
I'm just gonna.
Well,
okay, then restart real quick. That's fine. I just need to, because of my limited hard drive space, I want to make sure I stopped it, saved it, and restarted it real quick. So I'm going to do that real quick.
Everyone who has limited hard drive space, stop and restart.
Sure, whatever, Paul. So I'm going to... Okay. Stop.
For those of you with endless storage, continue.
Oh my gosh. And we'll be starting Young Indiana Jones here in 1 second. Okay, you're not playing it now. I'm not ready yet.
Oh, you want me to play it again?
Might as well. I mean, if you feel like it matches. Not yet. Not yet. Oh my gosh, of course.
Aloha.
Okay.
That means goodbye as well as hello, right? That's still in context.
I'm recording again.
Yay, welcome to the family. We don't leave you behind.
Good.
Or forgotten.
Wow. Okay. So now play it one more time, and then I'll say whatever you typed in for me to say.
It one more time.
Well, things can't always be the way you want them to be.
But sometimes they are, with young Indiana Jones!
Then it is something that man was not meant to disturb. Trust me.
Are you making this up as you go along? Yeah?
You don't believe me. You will, Dr. Jones.
Mission accomplished.
Full throttle. No break. Those people are trying to kill us.
I know, Dad!
It's a new experience for me. Happens to me all the time.
Welcome to our 20th chapter installment of Young Indiana Jones Chronicle Adventures, or something like that, where we're going
the Adventures
episode
of Young Indiana Jones. How many times we got to go through this?
Apparently, at least 20, if not more. We are reviewing each episode in between our main movie reviews of the only three Indiana Jones movies, which we'll be ending here this coming December Christmas with The Last Crusade and The Last Young Indiana Jones Adventure. But Paul, why don't you give us the technicals for this adventure, Chapter 20?
All right, Chapter 20 of the Young Indiana Jones, now you got me all mixed up. The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, Chapter 20, titled Mystery of the Blues. It was first released as part of the second season on March 13th, 1993. And unlike other chapters we reviewed, this is a one-shot that was all together. It wasn't two episodes into one, although it did feel like it. So you want to try to give us the
synopsis?
Yes, in one sentence.
So we find out that Indy loved jazz music and learned to play a soprano sax, and then had to figure out a mystery with Not Quite Human to figure out that Capone killed a restaurateur.
Although it wasn't actually decided it was Capone. There wasn't enough evidence, right?
I thought, well, yeah, but they said that's who it was, and yeah,
That's
and
who
then
they
he
thought.
gets off scot-free. What a great
Yeah.
climax!
Yeah. Oh, we're not there yet. Sorry.
No, not yet. So that's what this episode was about. High adventure. But let's start with things we did like about this episode. Caleb, first, before we start, have you ever seen Young Indiana Jones before?
No, this was my first encounter with the show. I didn't even know it existed.
Wow.
You guys were like, go watch it. And I'm like,
My
"Oh, check this out."
apologies.
No, I was about to say this. If you were to see one episode, this is one of the ones to watch because it's the only one to feature Harrison Ford briefly.
That's true. So, what was one thing you liked about this episode, Caleb?
I liked that we got that little backstory of his love of jazz music. Like that was, to me, it was interesting. It was one little character trait that Indiana has that you would have really never picked up anywhere else. It was fun. I really enjoyed.
It's like they made it up out of thin air. Yeah.
Yeah, it just randomly existed.
What are you talking about? He said how he loved it the whole time and went to all those clubs forever, Paul.
When he was running from the giant boulder, he was just, that's what he was thinking of. He was just playing in his head.
Exactly.
You guys not catch that?
No, I guess I somehow missed how the George Miller Band was just playing in his head. Actually, that come later. Never mind. My bad. That's more like World War II, not World War I. Anyway, Celeste, what's something you liked? And I forget, Celeste, have you ever been on one of our Young Indiana Jones episodes before?
I have. I've had to watch one.
Okay.
Before. And then I've been on a couple where I didn't have time to watch them.
Okay, gotcha.
So I kind of bounced out for that part. So one thing that I liked was how the beginning part before the murder was all real chill and slice of life.
With the jazz music.
Yeah, like I was like, this is nice. It doesn't have to be, running from
rushed
boulders and snakes and
there was no
brains.
Action.
Yeah, that's why I said slice of life.
And you liked that. Interesting.
I did. I liked that because I enjoy seeing what some people would think of as the boring stuff when it comes to things like that, because I feel like it fleshes out the characters more.
And you know what? I would feel the same way if most of the show wasn't just that, but I digress. I did like, I'm a fan of soprano sax, so I like that he...
Really? Have you ever played it?
I have played a soprano sax. I played the Kenny G, like just the tube one. I didn't play a small, like it looks like a saxophone one. I wasn't very good at it, but I have played one. And so that's cool. And I liked his sort of relationship with the main clarinetist jazz player. I forget his name.
Yeah, but he's a good actor. I liked it.
Yeah, totally. So that's something I liked in terms of this episode. Paul, was something you enjoyed?
I wasn't expecting kind of like this tour guide of jazz music, of the different styles and everything, and they took time to go through that. So that was very cool.
That was
that and the fact that they finally played the John Williams Indiana Jones theme at the very end for like a few seconds.
Only took him 20 episodes, but okay.
Yeah.
So was that also something you didn't like, Paul, that it took him 20 episodes to play
Sure, if we wanted to throw that in there, yes. Every episode needs to be bookended with Harrison Ford and have John Williams music throughout the whole thing, yes.
That would have been really nice. I will say that I didn't... Let's get into the things we didn't like so much about this, guys. And maybe I missed something, or you guys interpret it differently. But when he goes up and plays at that frat house or whatever it is, that party where the people are doing the what kind? It's like a da 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 da. Hello, my baby. Hello, barbershop. Thank you, Celeste. Yes, barbershop, and the trombone player, and he's like he does the super jazz, and he's playing it, and then he goes and plays at the club, and he can't play jazz. It seemed like he was great, and now he's not great.
No,
I'm very confused
because he's mirroring what they said about the clarinet player. He wasn't accepted. He was too white to be accepted by the blacks and too black to be accepted by the whites. And Indiana Jones was in his music.
Oh, but it seemed like he's so much better when he is up there in the barbershop
it
place.
wasn't in that. It wasn't their style.
All right, I understand it wasn't their style, but in terms of just pure jazz, it seemed like he had it there and then he lost it somewhere.
Wasn't welcome there.
I don't care about that. I'm just saying the way he played was better there, and then it's like he lost the talent he had by the time he went and played in the club.
I see. He lost his confidence, and therefore
he also had the confidence taken away from him.
Yeah,
that's a good point too.
Yeah.
Well, but then that lady at the end said, "Oh, that's like the best that I've ever heard and stuff."
No, at that place.
Yeah.
At the club place?
Yes.
Yeah, in that house. But that as he's leaving, though, that one gal was like, "Oh man, I loved hearing that." And then the
that's
butler
why he was
guy,
able to try to play with the other jazz people that he wasn't good enough.
I think we're in a heated agreement right now.
Okay, sounds wonderful.
So that's something I didn't like. Also, didn't like that Keith David was in there for so little. I saw his name in the credits. I'm like, "Oh, nice, I like Keith David." And then he's like, he's just a guy playing at that one club they go to, and then that's it. But
was he?
Keith David was in this?
Yeah, he was.
I didn't even notice.
He was the. Wow. I think he is a clarinetist or a trumpet player in the one club where they're like, "Oh, this is a blacks only club. We can't have you be here." And he's one of the musicians playing it with. He wasn't Louis Armstrong. He is the other guy.
Oh, the other guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I completely missed that.
Yeah. Because they didn't give him more to do. Which I don't know what you do with you get Keith David, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going off way too much. Celeste, what's something you didn't like about this slice of life of Indy?
I didn't like that the murder mystery had so very little to do with the first half.
Yeah, it seemed very tacked on. Yes,
it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
There was some very vague leading up to it, but there wasn't enough for it to feel cohesive to me.
Yeah,
it felt like, you know what? Let's create an episode. Oh, it's not long enough. All right, let's put in a lot of jazz music. Oh, it's still not long enough. All right, let's create a mystery like okay, let's put it sprinkle it throughout. No, we don't have time for that. Let's put it at the end here.
That's really what it felt like. And then because I enjoy a good mystery.
Yes.
As a result of the fact that it hadn't been sprinkled throughout.
Yeah.
It felt rushed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was my tragic maker, was the mystery. I love a good mystery, and this wasn't a good mystery. It was unsolved, and it was very lackluster.
Did any of you think it was the new wife that did it?
I thought it was the girl who left her earring in that cloak.
That was the new wife. That was the new wife.
No, that's not
she
the
wasn't?
new wife. That was the waitress at the was like, "Hey, Indy, if you ask me out, I'd say yes." You know, that whole thing.
I
was
thought
at
that
the
was
beginning.
The widowed wife. Okay.
No,
my bad.
At least no. Yeah, she's another waitress with Indy at the beginning.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I thought it was her.
Yeah. So there's too many loose ends. It wasn't a good solved mystery.
Kind of going off of what you guys all said, mine is just the pacing of it was bad. It was the pacing was so bad. It was really slow, and then I don't know. It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. And I don't know why they brought Ernest Hemingway back. It's like,
he didn't fit in. I like Jay Underwood, and man, I want to like his characters, but he's kind of a jerk in this. And
absolutely.
And he also took the Lord's name in vain, and this is a family-friendly show. It's like, what's going on here? So, way to go, Jay Underwood. You totally messed it up.
Jeez, Bug. Why don't you go learn how to fly, kid? You're not quite human. That's why you can't fly. Anyway, I'm just trying to break all the gender.
I'm trying to come up with a Human Torch one, but oh well. I guess I flamed out of that one.
All right, guys. Well, we don't have a classic nostalgic tragic ratings for this, but given this episode that we watched of Young Indiana Jones, would you want to continue watching based on your watch through of this episode? Caleb, what say you? Would you want to keep watching the show or go back and watch more?
No.
Yeah.
No. If the pacing was this bad and the only one that had Harrison Ford in it, no, I'm not. Not
Yeah. All right. How about you, Celeste?
I'm going to say no.
No. Yeah. Paul, how about you?
I enjoyed the like I said, the walk through the jazz, and boy, if this was the only one I saw, I would want to watch more. Maybe it would get better and like Harrison Ford would have more of a role, but then I'd be disappointed. So
yeah.
But based on what I have seen going forward, yeah, I want to finish this up. I want to watch the whole
Sure. Of course. Real quick, did the jazz seem really fast to any of you? Like they just were just going really fast?
Tempo. The blues was more slow. Is that what you're talking about?
No, even the blues was really fast.
Were you watching on 2x speed again?
1.5x.
Oh, that's why.
That must have been why then. Well, they should have slowed it down for me to make it work. Do this for me, Indiana Jones. For me, it's the same. The only reason I would continue watching is because we're doing this for the show. I wouldn't watch it on my own otherwise. So this episode would not be rated very highly for the Retro Rewind podcast. But thank you so much, Caleb. Thank you so much, Celeste. Yeah. And for also for me and Paul, we bid you all a whoopah. Very nice. Okay, so that's the end of the main episode. If any of you need to go use the restroom or go get water or anything like that before we do our spiritual speculation, go for it.
I'll take it.
Okay, go for it. And let's see. D. Tungsten, thanks for being here in chat. Hemingway was kind of a jerk. Yes, he was. And no, Robert Stack did not show up. That would have been amazing. Have to feel the music, Geek Devotions? Yes, I suppose so. Barbershop and jazz are very different. I know they're different.
I will say this. That even with its issues, I did enjoy the episode more than I thought I was going to. Because the last episode that we watched was so terrible.
Do you remember which one it was? I mean, there's lots
there was
of
a
terrible
train.
ones.
We watched more than one.
Wait, the Phantom Train you didn't like?
There was a train. That's all I remember.
That's all I remember. Okay. It probably wasn't it. Because that one was actually one of the good ones, I think. But I don't recall. There are multiple ones with trains, so. It was a
2-hour episode. Dallas just put it in there. It was a 2-hour episode. And it was when he was in the Foreign Legion.
Okay. Yeah.
And like they were trying to get him to do something and he couldn't. He ended up in the wrong area. I don't know. It wasn't. It was not very enjoyable.
Fair. Yeah. I so wish more of this was enjoyable. I remember reading the books, the Young Indiana Jones books, and thought they were way more adventurous than this. So,
but with books, you have the leniency of how you imagine things.
That's true. That does help.
I'm not going to say that I watched it on 2 times speed, but I'm going to just heavily imply that I watched it on 2 times speed.
A guy after my own heart.
You could do.
What was that?
I'm sorry.
I didn't know that was a thing you could do with YouTube videos.
Yeah. I watch things on 2x speed all the time with YouTube. Sometimes I wish they'd go 3x speed. Anyway, let's see. Dallas said, it felt like 2 different episodes in one. Yeah, that's pretty much what all these are, Geek Devotions. D-Tungsten says, I watched the show in its first run. That's so cool, D-Tungsten. And that's cool that you have VHSs of it. So, guys, help me remember again, who of you, so Paul has a spiritual speculation.
Yes.
Celeste or Caleb, did you have any spiritual things go ahead.
I have one on Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Caleb, do you have one on either Indiana Jones or Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah, something mini. It's not anything profound, but
that's fine. I didn't really have one. So we'll just go around. We'll start with Paul and Caleb since that was the main episode. Then we'll end with Celeste since that was Indiana Jones. and we'll call it a night. So let me do our little intro spiel here. I don't know why I'm writing anything. There's nothing to write down. Take a breath, Francisco. Take a breath. Cleansing breath. Okay. Welcome, patrons, to another installment of Spiritual Speculations, where we take a look at the spiritual things, themes, or questions that the movies and games we cover on the Retro Rewind podcast prompt us to think about. So tonight, this spiritual speculation will be sort of taken off from the movie we watched, reviewed at retrorewindpodcast.com/236, which was Lilo and Stitch from 2002. And also, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Young Indiana Jones Chapter 20 episode that we watched. But before we get to that, let's go around real quick and say who we are, like what's our name, what our faith life looked like growing up, and what our spiritual sort of belief system is now. So for me, my name is Francisco. I was raised Presbyterian, which is a Christian denomination, Protestant denomination, and I'm currently a non-denominational Protestant Christian. Let's go to Celeste next.
My name is Celeste. I was raised as a, as you said, put it, Protestant
Yes.
in the Baptist denomination.
Uh-huh.
And I am currently in the Assemblies of God, in an Assemblies of God church, which is also from a Protestant mindset.
Nice.
Is that different from the Assemblies of God? Or sorry, you just made a distinction there. I was just wondering if there is a
because it is only for a little while geek divisions. Because sorry, I'm responding to the chat.
Yes.
Because Assemblies of God is a fellowship, you get a lot of different things from it. So you can't go to one single Assembly of God and go, this is what all the churches are like. So that's why I corrected myself, because I was like, that's not a great way to say that.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense. Yes, thank you. And Caleb, how about you?
Yeah, my name is Caleb. I grew up Baptist, but now I'm just non-denominational.
Non-denominational. Very good. And Paul.
Yes, I was born in abomination, and I found a family, and now I'm a follower of Jesus.
That's amazing. Do you also have 2 extra arms?
Sounds about right.
No, but I've been to Hawaii.
Oh.
Does that count?
Real quick. We didn't get on the main episode, but because I forgot. What is the connection between Elvis and Hawaii? Why is that a thing?
Because Elvis did a really big concert there. He had gone into the army, and then he'd taken some time off, and so he did his comeback special, and it was in Hawaii.
Oh, good to know. Thank you, Celeste. Now let's go around and let's start with Caleb. What's something spiritually speaking about Elvis? I mean, about Hawaii. I mean, about Lilo and Stitch that you that watching the movie prompted you to think about.
Well, like Elvis, I got a hunk of burning love for Jesus.
Oh,
no.
With
Lilo and Stitch, it's just the simple thing of just kind of a basic principle of we all fall short, we all sin, we all, like Stitch, we have the sin, we have this evilness to us, but that doesn't mean that's it for us. Through Christ we are redeemed. And obviously that didn't happen in Lilo and Stitch, but Stitch was redeemed in I guess a parallel kind of way. So we're not perfect, and that Stitch wasn't perfect.
It's a redemption story, Francisco.
Exactly.
How'd you rate it a tragic?
Oh, you're right. He did works to be redeemed. Yeah, that's exactly the Christian message we want to go for.
All right.
Just parallel. Come on, man. No. I'm sure if they put Jesus in there. No. But just like that, just comparatively to Stitch, it's like, we sin, we're bad, but we can change. Especially through Christ, we are saved. So
and I will say there is an element of like we're beautiful because of what Christ does for us. He makes us as his bride beautiful. And Lilo, putting the lei on Stitch, doing all the work to sort of incorporate him in, is sort of in a way synonymous with that she's the one who's almost redeeming him because of how she's able to see through his ugliness, so to speak, and see the someone who's just lost and hurting.
And she's very accepting. Yeah.
You can also take that into a Jesus loves us when we're all kinds of messed up.
Yeah, exactly.
And angry
exactly.
and growling at things. So
I don't growl, Celeste, but okay.
Really, I do. I growl.
He doesn't growl, but he does grow extra arms. So.
He does. So, but Jesus loves us no matter what we're in, but he also loves us enough to correct it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what's the popular saying that Jesus loves you wherever you're at, but he doesn't want you to stay there, or
sure,
he loves you where you are, but he loves you enough to not let you stay there.
That's it. Thank you. Very good. So what are other thoughts about that, Paul? Celeste, about
mine is off the wall, not very deep.
No, I'm saying based on what Caleb said. Any thoughts?
Sorry. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. All right, Caleb, what did you think about it?
I thought what I said was pretty.
No, I need you to expand on what you said. Give me a scripture and verse for it, please. No, that's fine. That's fine. Paul, what sort of spiritually?
Well, I'd rate this movie a nostalgic. I don't know if you heard back. That's not what you're asking.
I don't want you to twist the knife, E2 Brute. Can you please tell me, spiritually speaking, what you found? All right,
so this movie got me thinking. I guess when Stitch was in the dog pound, they thought he was some sort of dog. I don't know. It was like
still don't get that, but yes.
But it kind of reminded me of how.
Real quick.
Oh no!
Another bonus dislike.
All right.
I thought I was because he always interrupts you.
There's aliens in this, and just no one bats an eye. There's no big press thing of people. We have discovered aliens in Hawaii. No. It's just just normal business that there's
Cobra
aliens
Bubbles
around.
Did his contact? He got his contacts to cover this up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a gas balloon,
island.
people.
The whole island. I don't think so.
Well, there's whole cities.
A small island.
And
maybe they had one of those Men in Black things. And
yeah, there you go.
I have one of those in my kitchen.
All right, go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
The light turns on every time I open the fridge, and I forget why I'm in there. Yeah.
Wow.
So one of the things that where my mind went, going back to when he was in the dog pound.
Yes.
It was like, so it reminded me of these reports about people doing gene splicing on animals, and whether they're true or not. But let's say, what if they are true and they're making these different hybrids, kind of like this space dog or whatever you want to call Stitch.
Sure.
And so, and then I'm sure some people have, or maybe haven't, but will try it on humans where they're combining it. And so if you, and this is all speculation, if there are human hybrids of human and animal, my question to you is, do you try to witness to them? Do they have a soul? Or are they human enough to be in that realm, or are they too much animal? Because, okay, so you asked for, earlier you asked for chapter and verse. Well, I was thinking, it reminded me of Mark 16:15, where Jesus said to his disciples, go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. So, I mean, all creation sounds like dogs and trees and stuff, but I'll stick it to humans. But I'm thinking hybrids, do they need to be saved?
So I would put it with how sentient are they?
Well, well, I don't know. What if you don't know? Just
to
be safe?
I would put it, and by the way, Geek Devotion points out, didn't Paul ask this during the Batman Beyond discussion? Maybe.
I thought I asked about the them being hybrids in the tribulation. That's where the beast comes from, the sea and the land. Maybe those are hybrids. I think that's what that was.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah,
my
I don't
answer
either.
To you,
I asked
Paul,
a lot of things.
Would be if they are human and have animal genes spliced onto them, then yes. If they're animals that have human genes spliced onto them, then no.
So if it depends on how much of the gene is human and how much is animal, like if it's over the 50% mark one way.
I mean, for me, how I answer that is I don't think we can imbue we can't imbue human souls into animals, regardless of how much DNA you give the animal. So
maybe there's a spell for that. No, I'm joking.
Wow. So that's why I say you wouldn't witness to a dog that's nearly human, but you would witness to a human that's nearly dog.
Well, what if? All right, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead, Celeste.
Well, I mean, you have the scriptures say that the animals know who is God.
Mm-hmm.
They know the reality of God.
Oh, so maybe they'll do the witnessing.
They don't necessarily have to be witnessed to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It says that the rocks will cry out and worship God if we don't. So
Yep.
creation as a whole knows who God is.
Yeah, even the stupid rocks know. Come on, people.
It's just us humans that have issues.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said it would depend on how sentient they are, because if they are at a base animalistic level, mindset wise, then they probably have an understanding, even if it's just a gut feeling of who God is. But if they're human, if they are able to reason away God, then that's when you would need to start witnessing to them.
I can see that. I still don't know if you would necessarily be able to save them if they don't have a human soul.
Well,
but
God saves them.
I guess that's true. And yeah, I'm sure we'll be surprised at who is in heaven and who's not in heaven.
These things are in heaven? What?
I don't associate with these types here in heaven, God. Wait, where you sent me to hell? Ah!
I guess grace wasn't sufficient for him. No, it's a joke, people.
I got to do more works like Lilo, like Stitch here.
Yeah.
Caleb, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, man.
Me neither. That's why I'm asking.
I got nothing. Okay. I don't know.
That's above my pay grade. Paul, did you have an answer to that?
I would say maybe, just in case. It's better to err on the side of witnessing to them than not.
That's a fair point. Good point. All right. Well, Celeste, let's end with your spiritual speculation based on young Indiana Jones, I believe.
Yes. So for the first part of the episode, before it jumped to the murder mystery that was rushed.
In the last 5 minutes.
Right.
It was especially rushed at 1.5 speed. I tell you what.
I mean, 2 times speed. It was.
Oh my gosh, so fast.
I don't know how y'all do that, because just listening to podcasts at 1.3 speed makes me anxious.
Oh wow.
Or even like cut the silences. I'm like, why is there no pauses?
Oh wait, there shouldn't be. It keeps going. No Edna modes, please keep going.
Yes, can't do it. But he's learning to play the soprano saxophone, and so he is practicing and he's working at it and he's striving to do it, even in the moments when no one's listening. Mm-hmm. And that made me go, man, that's how we should approach our faith.
Yeah.
That's how we should handle our walk with God. We need to strive to be closer. We need to strive to read our scriptures even when no one's looking, because you don't get better at something by practicing in front of people. You get better at something by repetitively doing it, even when you're messing up, even when you're failing. And then the clarinet player told him, just learn one song, learn the basics.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I think.
Also applies, because as Christians, you have to learn the basics. And sometimes you have to go back to the basics.
Yeah,
no matter how long you've been doing this thing, sometimes you have to be reminded, humans suck, God's good, and his grace is sufficient.
Amen. Indeed. Did that idea resonate with either of you, Caleb or Paul, or do you feel like no, you need to go ahead.
You made some really good points with I didn't even think about that about just the basics and stuff like that. So that's awesome. I didn't say really any point to add there. I was just saying words to contribute.
That's totally fun.
Yeah, I'll say words too. I thought it was great. A great analogy about how it's like going from walking to running, it's like, no, you need to take steps from like a chair to chair, like really learn to walk.
Yeah.
And then, so I thought it was a good analogy.
Yeah. So here's the thing I sort of have to add to that, which is sort of a fly in the ointment. Not really, but I'm stretching here.
What, there's flies in the ointment in heaven?
Bad dates. For it seems like we're okay. Let's try to stay with me here. In one of the, I think it's the Great Commission is go out to all the earth and make disciples of all men, whether gene spliced or not, apparently. So I think people sometimes get hung up on thinking, okay, so that means you just need to tell people about Jesus. But discipleship is actually a whole lifelong thing and actually helping promote people to grow in their faith, not just, baptized, okay, done, moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
And so given that.
And discipleship, yes.
Exactly. So part of me wonders with Indy that how does he get better without being taught? Like similar to like how do people know about Christ without being told? It seems like yes, I think there are people that have, and maybe he is this type of person that like knows all these languages. Maybe his brain is just wired, just given that he's listening to jazz music for so long that he can just do that.
He watches people. It's kind of like how you watch like people do pixel art, and you do it yourself and you find out what works and what doesn't. The more you do it, you get better.
Well, no, I actually got sort of. I watched someone do it, but they talked about the basics and the theory, or not the theory, but
they talked about the basics of jazz and theory behind it.
All right.
Well, and then you also had the clarinet player taking him to different places and different clubs, and then using different examples. So he goes, when I want to learn how to do gospel, I come here, and took him to church. And so that was kind of a form of discipleship because he was teaching him, but he was doing it in a way that was fun.
And
it doesn't have to be a, hey, we have to go do this thing and sit still and write lines. And it can be just in a general conversation that you have with somebody that you're discipling them, because you can talk about spiritual things.
Yeah, exactly.
And it be the same part. So I can see what you're saying. I also think that there was a good example of that in the show.
All right. Totally fair. Fine. No flies in this ointment. It's all gravy. Yeah, we'll go with that. Awesome, guys. Any other last thoughts or things you want to ask or that came to mind while we were talking here?
What is the circumference of a moose?
Depends on how much popcorn he eats.
Okay.
Is this from something?
No. Go with it, Francisco. Come on.
It's not from anything we watched tonight, so don't worry about it.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Let's see. In chat we have. Let's see.
Well, D. Tungsten said that's how he got so good at video games. He watched Francisco play Earthbound for over a year, and now he has pure, unadulterated skills.
Glad to help with you with that, D. Tungsten.
Well done.
Ashley says, very insightful, wonderful discussion, y'all. Thank you, Ashley. D. Tungsten says, sand and the Vaseline, yes. Oh man, that sounds very rough and coarse.
Yeah,
hate it.
You don't
Gets
like
everywhere.
sand?
Yeah. Oh goodness. Why is a raven like a writing desk? I don't know. There's no answer to that.
Wrote on both of them.
Is that really? Oh, okay.
I mean, it sounds good.
That does sound good. Well, in that case, we'll end for tonight, guys. Thank you so much, Caleb. Thank you so much, Celeste. Thank you so much, Paul, for all your thoughts and insights and discussion. Really appreciate them all. And for all of us, my name is Francisco. We bid you all shalom.
That means peace.
Boom. All right, guys. Thank you. So you can end your recordings now.
Whoop-paw.
And save them. Whoop-paw, exactly.
Boop. Stop.
Boop.
File.
Save.
Export.
And I will. I'm going to put a link that you can send your files to me through in the Discord.
Says RRP what?
236. 236.
the Geek Devotions Discord because that's what the computer signed into.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wave.
Did you get this, Celeste? Did that come through?
Why did it rename it?
Why does it
Trying to
say?
do a thing.
Okay, no worries.
What is this blue screen of death?
Oh no.
No.
Wow.
Yes, it did.
So
okay, awesome.
The are the waves that the surfers ride, are those considered the Hawaiian roller coaster ride?
Yes.
All right, because all the ups and downs. Cool. I didn't get.
I
that
didn't know
till-
that.
Hawaiian roller coaster. Yeah, it's because surfing culture is so big in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They consider it part of the. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baba, with the Cajun Curl and the PaulJPirates.com and the RetroRewind.podcast.com/vote.
Yeah, that's how we were able to review this trash. I mean,
no, you had it right. You had it right.
No. Oh no. What's up next?
Austin Powers.
Oh, that's
right. Baby.
What's wrong with my Austin Powers?
I don't know.
Watched that for the
Oh,
first
really?
time this last year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
And the most memorable part of it to me was I went, oh hey, that's the werewolf from Buffy.
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like,
not wrong.
That's Willow's first love.
That is. Yeah, and what I don't know why he couldn't have stayed through the whole thing. I liked him the best.
Because he had to go and make robot chicken.
I guess, but whatever. I still liked him the best. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much,
All his
Celeste.
action figures are cherry.
Thank you so much. Oh my God.
What's being said?
Got Stephen Hawkins in my library. My MySpace page is totally pimped out. Got people begging for top 8 spaces. I know pie to 1,000 places. Ain't got no grills, but I still wear braces. I order all my sandwiches with mayonnaise. I'm a wizard man too. I can play for days. Watching my sweet moves, gonna stay amazed. My fingers move so fast. Set the place ablaze. At Pascal, I'm number 1. Do vector calculus just for fun. Ain't got but I got a starring gun. Yo, I know Happy Days is my favorite theme song. I can quiz it or
kick your
whiz
butt
any
in a gang of ping pong. No, isn't that right?
I'm fluent in Klingon as well.
So Seth Green started it. Sorry.
Seth Green is in White and Nerdy. That's what Paul was
Weird
referencing.
Al music video.
Yeah, in that video, yes.
He's in one segment where he talks about all his action figures are cherry. That line, it's Seth Green is in there with some of his action figure collection.
That's what I thought you said, and I was very confused. Yeah. So I was questioning why you were talking about action figures, and then Francisco just goes off.
Because he brought up the Seth Green,
and
then Robot Chicken, and
exactly.
I was like, "Is this a song from Dingoes Ate My Baby?"
Real quick, I've labeled all the files since I accidentally stopped recording when you gave that hand signal. I labeled them so you know the prep, Lilo and Stitch, and then the young.
Thank you.
Oh wow, that's really helpful.
And don't forget your oath, please. Also,
yeah, I put it in there. I said I called it prep. So
perfect. Thank you so much.
All right.
Awesome.
Do I need to do anything else, or just wait for it to upload?
Just preferably wait for it to upload. But that's it. Then and then put the link in the Discord.
Oh, Bobo, you missed your chance. 42 would have been a great answer, not a winning answer. But,
it's 7. It was 17 tonight. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream, guys. Thank you all so much for being here, being a part of this episode. Thank you again to Celeste and Caleb for making time, Paul for making time as well. Nani? And would you all join me in a stream face, please? Which is just a silly face we do to end these streams. So until next time, guys. See you tomorrow morning for a shorter Sarcade Adventures. And then tomorrow night for Among Us with the Andrew's Wide World of Gaming community. So until then, here is your stream face. Just keep holding it. Just keep holding it.
Family.
Okay, that's very cool.
Oh.